Hello, Weekend Warriors. Welcome to my virtual workshop. It might look familiar because we shot a video like this a while back where I did everything on my laptop. And this time is going to be a little bit different because we're actually going to talk about SketchUp. Why? Because I've kind of featured SketchUp prominently in the last couple of videos, one of which was nothing but SketchUp showing my screen presses. The last one, I talked about how I made templates using SketchUp and my laser printer and my real printer to make the template so I could cut out some wood. Well, I've had one of my viewers who downloaded or had me send him plans. He said, well, he doesn't have SketchUp, so he's having difficulty with the PDF files that I sent, and he doesn't know what to do about it because he doesn't have SketchUp. Well, guess what? Yes, he does. Everybody has SketchUp. Because the Trimble Navigation Corporation, who is the vendor for SketchUp, number one, has a web version that is free to use, and number two, has left their last free release. While they're no longer distributing, they're still allowing a couple of third parties to distribute those releases. They are not full-on releases like you'd be a pro, and I'll show you some differences in that. But they're still real usable tools, and they're more than enough for what we're doing as far as woodworking and 3D printing and laser engraving. You can do it all. So let's take a real quick look at what's going on here. So I'm going to go ahead and open Google, and I've already done my search for SketchUp for Web. And the first thing it does, it brings up my SketchUp website, and there it is, SketchUp for Web. So we're going to click on that. And here's your entry page for it. Now we can either go straight to modeling, but I'll show you one of the difference between the free version and the ones you buy. SketchUp is done on a subscription basis, which means it's going to cost $119 a year for some extended abilities, all the way up to $850 a year for some real kick-ass abilities. Now, if you are a designer, say an architect or something, and you're going to be presenting to customers, it is well worth the $850 a year. If you are in a wood shop that also has to present to customers, but they don't maybe need all the textures, all the colors, and all that, $119 a year is worth it. For me, in my weekend wood shop, I'm afraid it's a little bit out of the question paying that much a year for this sort of thing. So we're going to stick to the free version. And in the free version, we just hit Start Modeling, and I'm going to allow this. You will have to create an account. You will have to log into that account. But once you do, you can upload my plans or anybody else's plans. It's in this SKP format up to the cloud, where you can then open the file. And here we are. This thing has all the functionality of my desktop version, only it's in the cloud. Now, what you cannot do with this free version, you cannot save in, say, a DXF or a vector modeling format. Let's see here. If I come over here and I do a save as, I don't want to do that. That's just going to save it back. So my exporting ability. So if I come here and I say export, and I say I want to export a DXF 3D model, well, it says, you want to do that, and you want to send it to your CNC router or whatever, you got to upgrade to get the full set of exporters. So that's one function that you can't get on the web version without paying. However, that doesn't mean that we can't get that version at all, or we can't get that ability. So anyway, this is really good. You can see everything that you need to see. You can see any measurement that I put down. You can create your own files. It's real handy for the weekend hobbyist. Okay? So, this is just one way that you can access SketchUp. The next way is you can actually download an older version that is still available through third parties. It's completely legal. Trimble allows this to be done. So it's not like you're pirating anything or anything like that. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to close out SketchUp for the web. And we're going to close out that search. And we're going to do a search on which I've already done on SketchUp Make, which was their limited version, free. The last one they did was in 2017. Trimble says that it could have some security issues with their DLLs, but if you're running a good, antivirus software, any spyware software, that sort of thing, you should be able to get along okay. Anyway, so there's a couple different places you can get it. You can get it from CNET, which is a real reliable download source. You can also get it from, where is it? Softonic, which I don't see on here right now. The Softonic version is actually a trial version, so you get to use all the functions available to the Pro version for 30 days. After 30 days, it turns off those Pro versions and you're back to the standard SketchUp Make version. For our purposes, we're going to go to CNET, which is just straight SketchUp Make. I'm going to go ahead and download it. I don't want to download WinZip or anything like that. My download should start here rather quickly. There we go, SketchUp Make. I'm going to stick it into my downloads folder. And it's going to be ready quickly. I'm going to go ahead and run it. Since I already know that's definitely a virus-free because I've scanned that one many times, I'm going to say yes. And since it's installing, I can... Oh, I didn't want to get rid of Google, but that's okay. Hang on a minute. I'll be back to take care of the Google. Hold Google. Okay, I'm back. I got my page spec that I wanted. So now we're going to continue with our install of SketchUp Make 2017. So it's going to want Visual C++. So we're going to let it install that. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and install the whole SketchUp. I put my program files on my D drive. And I'm going to go for all that. See for sure. I don't actually need layout, so let me, I'm not going to do the layout files or the style files. So no style builder, no SketchUp layout, because they don't work with the unlicensed version. So I'm going to say, okay, and install. So while this is legal, it is completely unlicensed. And when it opens, it's going to ask me, do you want to go up to the next license? I'm going to tell it no, and it's going to say, okay, well, select your model. Or select your template. So now I can say finish. And I'll come over here to SketchUp 2017, and I will open it up. I'm going to agree with their license agreement, and I'm going to say continue. And there we go. So it's saying that we're possibly vulnerable. That's okay. We can upgrade for more secure editions and get more toys, more goodies. Instead, I'm going to choose a template, and for grins, I'm going to come all the way down to 3D printing in millimeters. I'm going to start using SketchUp. There we go. It's going to give me a beginner's tool set. I personally like a larger set of tools. So I'm going to get rid of the getting started and go to the larger tool set and close. And give it a second to do the close. There we go. Now I'll set my, as soon as it lets me, I will set up my camera. Anyway, so I've already got this thing set up with my camera view, which is what I wanted to do when we got interrupted. So camera view, I set up in their standard views. I've selected an ISO camera view, which kind of allows me to rotate around the origin, as you see there. While I was at it, I drew a keyhole using a circle and a rectangle, and then got rid of my my extra lines that was involved. So this I would want to cut out, say, on my laser printer. I should say on my laser engraver. However, under their natural export, it does not allow the output of DXF files. Now, I could download the Collada file or the Google Earth file, and there are converters that will take it from these files into a DFX format. But I prefer to try to do everything within one program if I can, instead of having to go through a whole bunch of conversions. And this is the one drawback of the standard release of SketchUp Make, and we saw it also on the web release. You can't get everything in the format you need without paying extra. Or can you? So let me cancel this. Some genius out there that's good at programming Ruby code came up with a plugin. So here it is on the Guitar List website, and I'll try to get this this link into my video. He created a plugin that will allow us to export to either the DXF format or the STL format, which is used in 3D printing. So here we have the actual plugin. It gets you the actual text. And it says it was good up to SketchUp 2016. Now, I have tested this in SketchUp Make 2017, and it works like a champ. So there's no reason in the world not to use it. So right-click on it, do a Save As. I'm going to go to Documents. Desktop, where I was. I'm going to save this guy. And now we're going to go back to SketchUp. So minimize that, get it out of our way. SketchUp, we can go over to this window here, go to our extension manager. And if I'm talking funny, it's because I knocked out a front tooth, and I've got a partial until they build me a bridge. And now I've got a lisp, and I kind of sound like the gopher in the Winnie the Pooh series on Disney. Anyway, so can install the extension, install that guy. You'll be able to see it up here. He is enabled. So then we'll close that out. Now we'll go to File, and what we see is Export DXF or STL. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. I'm going to do the whole model in millimeters because that's what my printers and engravers work off of best. I can do a polyface mesh or just polylines. It doesn't matter. I'll go polylines, say OK. Where do I want it to go to? I want it to go to the desktop, save it. Yeah, I'll replace whatever untitled is already there. And I'll say OK. Now I'm going to minimize this. And I'm going to open it. You can see I've already got the Lightburn logo because that's what I'm using these files for mostly anyway. And you can see there is our keyhole ready to be cut out in Lightburn. So I went straight from SketchUp into Lightburn, which is good. Okay, don't want to do anything with that right now. Let's go back to SketchUp. Let's give a push-pull on that, and while we're at it, open that up and say, sink a hole through it. Okay. Now, file, I'll go back down to the export DXF or STL. You can see I've got another export STL. That's another plugin that I downloaded off the SketchUp website. So they do support at least doing the STL. They just don't support doing the DXF in the free ones. I'll use the same plugin just so we see that it does work. So yeah, I want to do that. I want to do it in millimeters. Instead of selecting lines or meshes, I'm just going to tell it export as an STL. Click OK. I'll say untitled STL. Yeah, let's replace what's that. And it's ready to go. Now I'm going to go ahead and minimize that. And this might take a second, so I'm going to pause. What I'm going to do is there's my STL file, and it's going to want to open in the Creality slicer. But once again, while we're running this recorder, it might not go so quick. So I'm going to pause and come back when we're open. Okay, here's our model that I just exported as a STL, and you can see it is here. It's ready to be sliced. I'm going to go ahead and slice it now. And we'll do a quick preview. And bingo, it would print up just fine. And that's all terrific and all that. Now, the whole point of this originally was not to show you that we can set up files for laser printers or 3D printers, but to make sure that it is functional with my plans. So, let's open one of my plans. And we're going to go to D here, because I know I've got a copy of the cylinder press that we opened in the web app. It is the exact same plan. So there we go. There's the full press, same pages, or same same scenes. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Same scenes as you saw on the web app, all the way through. Okay, so you can see all the measurements. If you happen to have a computer in the workshop with you, you can use the SketchUp file, or if you need to, you can let's see here, export a 2D graphic to. You would have to print to a PDF. With this one, later editions you're able to export to a PDF, but this one you would just say print to an Adobe PDF, fit it to the page. You won't necessarily use model extents. Pardon me, fit to the page, giving it the OK. We'll put that on the desktop. And you see there's the PDF with all the measurements. So you can have paper plans in the workshop with you also. So go ahead and get rid of that. Bring that guy back up. Yeah, so You see, we have a fully functional tool for everything we need to do in the workshop. We can draw up our own plans using the same tools I use, or you can take my plans and modify them any way you want. So without having to spend hundreds of dollars, if you can't afford it or you don't feel that it is cost effective, you don't have to spend hundreds of dollars. You've still got a valuable tool right here, just with a couple extra plugins to go. And well, that pretty much covers the whole shebang. So until I see you next time, thanks for letting me be part of your workshop, and I will see you when I do the next video. Bye.